On today's video, we're going to talk about 5 Blu-ray releases that I want to go a little bit more depth in, but don't need separate videos.
It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome to another Blu-ray review. Today we're going to be talking about these 5 releases: Lightspeed Electroid Albegas, IGPX, Hurricane Polymar, Digimon Digital Monsters Season 2, and Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning. Now, you may notice these top 4 are Discotek releases. That's kind of why we're reviewing them all in one go, and I thought what better place to put Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning from Shout than with Digimon Season 2. So we're going to go through these. If you want chapter times, they are in the description and along the timeline of the video if you want to jump to a particular segment, because I know it's a bit of a weird mix. It's all stuff I love, but it's a bit of a weird mix for others. So you can jump around if you wish, or listen to some of these great releases. We have rare shows, really solid, really great releases, very interesting releases, and really cool Digimon stuff at the end. So it should be a good mix. And if you like this type of video, hit the like button to let me know. Hit subscribe and the notification bell as well so you don't miss out on future Blu-ray videos and other types of videos on the channel. But without too much further ado, let's begin. Okay, so we're starting with Lightspeed Electroid Albegas, a 1983 mecha anime from Toei. This series was released by Discotek on Blu-ray in May of 2024, and it is an amazing release for the fact that the show has never really been fully available in English. With a lot of old mecha shows, the popularity wasn't there to bring them over in full in the old days and the heydays of anime distribution, but also this is one of the shows that just didn't get fan subbed. I looked for fan subs for years and even considered doing it myself at one point before I started noticing Discotek picking up a lot of sort of orphaned mecha anime from the 70s and 80s and thought maybe they'll get to it someday. And they finally did. Now, the reason why Albegas actually has some notoriety is it's not just another mecha anime from Toei in the 80s. They did like one of those a year just to sell one toy, in this case the Lightspeed Electroid Albegas, a combination of 3 robots that can become 9 combinations that all serve different purposes in the show, but the toy was able to split and combine these 3 robots in different ways. Essentially, the way it would work is that each robot could split into a torso and legs, and then the legs could combine together to make a set of legs, and then you'd stack the torsos, that kind of thing. Very interesting combination system, and hard to replicate in a modern form, which is why I don't think we've seen a Soul Chigoken or other premium versions. Some other companies have tried. There was one that did it with a bunch of magnets. But the point is that Albegas is recognizable to some fans of anime because when Voltron was brought over back in the early 80s, World Events Productions commissioned it to be a trilogy of shows. And their plan was to include 3 series dubbed and edited into one show known as Voltron. The 3 shows being Beast King Go Lion, Die Rugger 15, and Lightspeed Electroid Albegas. And in fact, they actually wanted future robot Daltanius, not Go Lion, because Go Lion was incredibly violent, and Daltanius wasn't as much so violent. But apparently there was a mix-up because they asked for the Lion robot show, and they thought they were going to get Daltanius. They actually got Go Lion. 80s licensing was weird, and it's a whole interesting history. But it's also interesting we have a Discotek Blu-ray of Daltanius. So when it comes to Albegas, this didn't end up being Voltron. Matchbox had a toy series that included Voltron 1, 2, and 3, or Voltron of the Near, Far, and Middle universes, and Albegas was included. And those were re-releases of toys that had come out in Japan from Bandai and Poponica. So what ended up happening was that Lion Voltron aired using the footage from Go Lion. It was pretty popular, and then they brought in the second season, which was going to be the Vehicle Voltron, using the Die Rugger footage. Not a big hit. Got complaints from parents because their kids were upset that it wasn't the same robot or characters. Kids didn't quite grasp the concept of each season being a different robot and a different set. So the plans to adapt Albegas were canceled, and World Events Productions commissioned Toei to make them more Go Lion, and that's what became the 3rd season of Voltron. So poor Albegas got left out in the cold. No adaptation as Voltron, and ultimately less recognition. Now, on the plus side, I don't have Blu-rays of Go Lion and Die Rugger from Discotek Media, but we do have Albegas, and we do have Daltanius, so maybe not being tied to Voltron was beneficial in the long run to get this series. So with all that said, I'm watching the show for the first time subbed. I'd only ever seen the first 2 episodes, I think, were subbed by Toei's really bad YouTube channel, Toei Tokusatsu World, and they weren't really good subs because it wasn't easy to comprehend the series. But this is a standard definition Blu-ray, which, for those are unaware, the video quality and the audio quality is standard definition, and so all 45 episodes of the series are presented on a single Blu-ray disc because the material they have is nothing they can work with to upgrade it to a proper HD source. So you get what you get, and it is what it is. That being said, I think the packaging art is nice. Some screen caps of the show. Here is like a description of the series. It doesn't, of course, mention Voltron at all, but there is that. What's really fun about the show is that it's these 3 kids who win a robotics competition, and their 3 robots end up going to battle almost immediately to fight alien invaders. The robots get damaged. Hotaru's father ends up rebuilding the robots so that they can combine, and then they learn to work together and pilot them, and I think it's really fun. It's got a nice, fun vibe to it. We can see here on the spine, we got the logo, as well as the Discotek logo, and the Eastern Star logo, and then a little shot of Albegas' head for the main combination here. And yeah, you got your stats. It's Japanese with English subtitles. And then here's a shot of the 3 different robots, Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, which I think looks really nice. Sometimes working with these old Toei shows, they don't have art assets, and Discotek has to work with what they can, and Toei's only let them use official art assets. I think they did a good job. I think this is really nice and striking. And then, of course, on the inside, you can see we have Beta and Gamma on the disc, and the disc, like I said, it's a Region A Blu-ray, just so everyone knows, but 1 disc, the entire show. And then on the inside here, we've got Albegas' base form and the Albegas combo that has Gamma as the head and then one of the aliens. I think the presentation is good here, but let's take a look at the contents. It's pretty bare bones, but if you're wanting to watch this show, it's pretty solid. So here's the menu for Albegas. You got the 2 scientists that help them out, monitoring the 3 members of Albegas' team. Works pretty good. You can hit play all if you want to just watch all 45 episodes in one go. The episodes, they are broken down into pages of 12, so when you want to get to the next batch, it's on the next page. They are just set to play. Like, if you hit play all and just want to pause it and put your player into sleep mode, especially if you have like a PlayStation like I use for my stuff, you can just keep it rolling. Subtitles on and off. It's pretty much it, but it's nice enough presentation. Let's just take a quick look at one of the episodes so you can kind of get an idea how it looks. So it's not going to be a pristine image, but it's going to be what you can get. It's going to have some dents and scratches and stuff here. They don't have the masters needed to remaster it, nor do I think the cost would be worth it for such an obscure show either, but it looks pretty good, honestly. It's an 80s show. It's not remastered, but it's nice having the show. It's either, yeah, okay, it's not remastered, but you have the series, so I think that's enough of a trade-off that makes it worth it. Now, Albegas being a standalone series means there's nothing really to pair it with the shelf, but I thought, let's just put it with Laserion and Daltanius. Laserion was a 1984 Toei mecha anime, and Albegas was a 1983. You can see they have similar design features. Discotek has switched their case style, or their slipcase style, so that instead of these sharp edge corners that could get munched, they've gone to these rounded corners. It's just a thing they've done. I think it looks nice. And you can see, I like that the blue is kind of consistent. While they aren't necessarily meant to go together, you can still get a pretty nice looking spine collection of these really kind of more obscure animes that you may only know because you've seen the robot. But I think it's really fun having multiple shows like this on standard definition Blu-rays. Next up, another mecha anime, IGPX, The Immortal Grand Prix. Maybe more recognizable to Western fans of anime. This was a series that was commissioned to be a Toonami original. Toonami was a programming block on Cartoon Network in the US and other countries that was focused on airing old action cartoons and eventually transitioned into being an anime destination. And is the reason why I probably love anime is because of Toonami. I got exposed to a lot of shows I may not have watched otherwise. IGPX was commissioned for Toonami, and it also came out in Japan. It was produced by Production IG. This is its first Blu-ray release, I believe, in the world. I'm not 100% on that, but I haven't watched IGPX since it aired, so this is pretty exciting for me. This is my next show I'm watching when I finish Albegas. But you can see here we got IGPX, the complete stage. If I want to harbor a guess, the volumes for the DVDs were called stages. Just a guess here. Now, this show is pretty impressive for a lot of reasons. Animation by Production IG, you may know for Ghost of Shell Attack on Titan. The voice cast for the English dub is crazy. It's got like Haley Joel Osment, Mark Hamill, Lance Henriksen, Michelle Rodriguez, and many others. There are 2 cuts of the show because of this. There is the Toonami cut, which is going to be the music, sound effects, and the editing that you would have seen on the Toonami broadcast. And there's the Production IG cut with different music. There is an English and Japanese version, which is kind of like the home video version in a way. And there is title cards and next episode previews. And there is a ton of bonus features, and putting only that many undersells how many bonus features are here. We're going to go through it, trust me. This is a 26-episode show, but you are getting 2 cuts of the show on 5 discs in total to fit all the bonus features. Here's one of the mechs on the inner cover. You also, if you want your slip cover to match your inner cover, that is a reversible option. But we can see here, Toonami cut disc 1, episodes 1 through 13. Toonami cut disc 2, 14 through 26. Production IG cut disc 3, episodes 1 through 11. And then 12 through 22 and 23 to 26. Plus, most of the bonus features are here. But let's take a look at the absolute amazing load of bonus features, because I have not seen a show get this much bonus content in a while. So here's disc 1 for IGPX. It's a very black and white kind of menu, but it plays the music from the series. Of course, have play all your episodes. Disc 1 has 13 episodes, so you can just kind of bounce around the little menu here and then, do your thing. Come down here to setup. You only have English 2.0 and 5.1 for the Toonami cut, because there was no English, or there was no Japanese dub for that. But you do get English captions, which is nice. Now, the cool part is you do get bonus features from the jump in commentaries. There are 13 episodes on here, and we have 7 commentary tracks. Episodes 1, 2, 8, 9, 11, 12, and 13. Some of these came from a 2015 release, some came from a 2006 release, some came from a 2022, 2023 would be something new for this. Like this episode 11 commentary says 2023. That is for this release. So a nice variety of commentaries from previous releases of the series. Disc 2's menu looks pretty much the same. It's going to have the other half of the Toonami cut, so 14 through 26, and that'll get you to the end of the Toonami cut of the series. You have the same language options here, so I'm not going to go through those again, but you get commentaries on 15, 18, 20, 23, 24, 25, and 26. So most of this show has commentaries on the Toonami cut, which is insane, but really good. It's just crazy. So here's disc 3, the start of the Production IG cut. So you don't have as many episodes, you only have 11, because they're a little bit longer, I think. And then you have your setup, which now you get English 2.0 with song subtitles, English 5.1 with song titles, Japanese 2.0 with full English subtitles, and Japanese 5.1 with full English subtitles. So you can't toggle the subtitles on and off per dub, you just pick one. And then you get commentaries on episodes 1, 3, 5, 6, 10, and 11 with different people who worked on the production in both sides of it. Okay, so disc 4, this is going to be the next chunk of the IG cut, so 12 through 22 on this disc. Which will get you most of the way there, but not quite, because there is still episodes on the last disc. Setup, of course, same options as before. And then commentaries on 13 and 21. So not as many commentaries, but you still get commentaries. So disc 5, which of course has the remaining episodes of the Production IG cut, 23 through 26. Your setup is the same, and then your features, a whole different thing. Okay, so we got the clean opening for the Production IG cut, clean ending for Production IG. Bandai USA opening credits, these are the ones that appeared on the Bandai DVD with the English text. You get the original broadcast ending of episode 24, which I don't even know about. Okay, I'm just going to tell you the words that are in front of me. You have Japanese with subtitles. There's no English dub for that version. And you also have a commentary track. There is an IGPX music video. There is a panel. There is the Comic-Con pilot preview for the series, which is the actual pilot as previewed at Comic-Con. There are multiple tabs of bonus features. Let's continue. Interviews. You get producers, writer-director interview. You get Haley Joel Osment. You get Michelle Rodriguez. You get Mark Hamill. You get Lance Henriksen, Eric P. Sherman, Jason DeMarco, Sarah Hardy. And then we keep going. The pilot, which was the micro series that sort of is like the prequel to the show, from what I understand. The broadcast version, you can play in English or English with closed captioning. the director's cut, which is in English or in Japanese version, or the movie cut, which plays it all in one go. Then on top of that, you have liner notes. So you got the pilot promos, you got the season 1 and season 2 promos of the US, the Japanese promos, the game trailer, the Toonami game review, which seems to be upscaled to HD. Also on top of that, you get video liner notes, which is actually a video, and then the action reports, which is liner notes from the Japanese DVDs. And that is everything that is included, but that is so much stuff. It is going to take anyone a long time to go through all this. 2 cuts of the show, 3 cuts of the micro series, a different cut of episode 24 in Japanese, Comic-Con panels, music videos, interviews, liner notes, so much stuff in this set. It is incredible to see this much for any show that has existed, and especially in a release coming out in 2024, the year that bonus features go to die on physical media. So thank you, Discotek, for loading us up on everything IGPX in one set. Now, IGPX being kind of a standalone series means there's not really Discotek stuff to pair it with, so I grabbed a couple other thick case mecha anime, Toby Kage and Gal Gaigar. Again, not designed to go together, but it still looks nice on your shelf with your Discotek Blu-rays. I just happened to pick 2 that were recent with the curved corners and then also were in the thicker cases. So you can kind of see how it would match on your shelf. Okay, next up we have the Discotek media release of Hurricane Polymar, the live-action film adaptation of the most doomed Tatsunoko hero. Hurricane Polymar, he's part of the legacy of Tatsunoko that includes Gatchaman and Cashern, yet he always gets the short end of his stick. His original show was the shortest of the original Tatsunoko shows. His 90s OVA got canceled after 2 episodes, and his live-action movie was completely forgotten by the internet. I feel like I was the only one that, you know, when Discotek announced they got the Hurricane Polymar movie, went, oh good, I like that movie. Or at least I've seen that movie, because it's kind of a weird one. But yeah, they announced it, and a lot of people were like, there was a Hurricane Polymar movie, or who is Hurricane Polymar? Poor left behind Hurricane Polymar. Smart releasing this, I think, because not only is it, you know, a movie release, which is a lot simpler to do than a whole TV show, but it's got Yuki Yamada, who was Gokai Blue and was also in Godzilla -1. It's got Mike Hara, who was in Cutie Honey the Live. She was in a couple of the Forze things. She does a lot of stuff with Koichi Sakamoto, who's the director, and Koichi Sakamoto's done a lot of directing work from Power Rangers to Sentai to Rider. You can see Hurricane Polymar on the spine, Toku Time 6, and on the back here. I mean, even this lady, she was in one of the X-Aid movies, I believe. And there's a bunch of other people you might recognize if you've watched a lot of Tokusatsu stuff. This movie is, I would say, kind of like a hard PG-13. There's a lot of blood, but it's done in the very Koichi Sakamoto style of boys and men punching each other with their strong muscles, and, you know, the women wear skirts, except her. She wears pants at some point. The thing is, you get a lot of the Koichi Sakamoto-isms that you may recognize if you've seen some of his other films or his other work. Let's give a description, because it's hard to describe Hurricane Polymar just on its own. He's gonna rock you like a hurricane is a great tagline, so shout out to whoever did that one. After a few years on the road as the World Warrior, Private Eye Takashiyori returns home to face his greatest battle yet. When 3 state-of-the-art combat suits are stolen by terrorists, a secret task force presents the reluctant gumshoe with the best chance of fighting back, a 4th suit that only responds to his voice. With his Hurricane Kenpo now supercharged, it is up to Takashi and the would-be Sherlock to track down the missing suits before all hell breaks loose. It's crazy. It's wild. It's kind of fun if you like just crazy action films. Director Koichi Sakamoto, Power Rangers, Ultraman G. Nice Ultraman shout-out. Unleashes an electrifying storm of hard-hitting action in this tokusatsu reimagining of Tatsunoko Productions, Speed Racer and Gatchaman, iconic hero. Iconic, sure. Well-loved and long-running, no. Filled to the brim of slapstick shenanigans, heartwarming moments, and a whole bucket of lightning legs, Hurricane Polymar falls on Blu-ray, presented in high definition, the original Japanese language and English subtitles. And yeah, this is, it does have 2 audio tracks, but it is Japanese in 2.0 and 5.1. Subtitles only in English. It is Region A coded, and you get the movie plus some bonus features, which they don't list on the back here, which is actually kind of surprising. Here's another shot of Polymar in suit. Here's him fighting a super muscular guy because it's a Koichi Sakamoto movie. And then on the inside here, we've got kind of the lead girl and then Polymar. And then we, of course, have the disc. So let's take a look at the menus and the features for Hurricane Polymar. So the Polymar menu is a rearrangement of what's on the cover. You got, of course, Play Movie, chapters, which will take you through, of course, different scenes of the film. Your setup, which will allow you to select surround or stereo, and then on or off subtitles. And then your extras, pretty surprising. We got the teaser, got the theatrical trailer, a promo, a making of special, which is I think about 30 to 40 minutes, an early advanced screening intro, the opening day Q&A, and Hurricane Kempo for beginners with director Koichi Sakamoto. And these are features, I believe, that came from the Japanese Blu-ray, and they're all fully subbed in English, and it's a great thing to have. If you enjoy the movie, you get to deep dive on it. Very rare in the Toku space. So there's not much else Hurricane Polymar material to put it with, because I think Discotek did the 2-episode OVA, which I have somewhere. I remember buying it. And none of the other stuff has come out to my knowledge. So we're just going to put this with the Toku Time releases so far. What I find interesting is that, so far we've gotten a Metal Hero, 2 Kamen Riders, a Metal Hero, and Polymar with there was another movie that they put out that I don't own because I just wasn't interested. But this is Toku Times 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What I find interesting is that you have a different color code. It makes it, obviously Hurricane Polymar's colors are red with orange accents, but I think it's also kind of interesting that it's like, oh, hey, this one's a movie, so it's color coded a little different. But there you are if you're going by the straight Toku Time releases. Personally speaking, I'm going to be putting this with Cutie Honey Live and with Media Blaster's release of live action Devilman, just as kind of like live action adaptations of things. Or I might put it with my Tatsunoko stuff. I don't know yet. It's going to go somewhere. All right, the much anticipated Digimon Digital Monsters Season 2 English language version. This is our full HD remaster upscale of Digimon Season 2. It has been a long time coming. There was a lot of discussion about, I think, the packaging. I think that's what held up was the approvals on this. This cover art has an interesting story. This is the cover art from the first Digimon Adventure 02 DVD in Japan. It's a shot of Daisuke Davis and Vmon. This was kind of like, people thought they drew a new cover for this, but in fact, they asked Toei for this image asset because this will match with the Season 1 set, which we'll compare it to, of course. But this was artwork that they didn't have a high-resolution version of, and Toei up-resed it for them and sent it to them for the cover, which really shows how much confidence Toei has in Discotek Media handling Digimon. So that's a positive. I'm glad to see that. It's a similar design scheme to the Season 1 set. The logo, English language versions, episodes 1 to 50, Season 2. It's red colored. You can see up here you got Davis and Vmon, the Digimon Digital Monsters logo. And then you see behind Season 2, behind the 2, is a D3 in the way that the Digivice was behind Season 1. Again, we'll compare in a moment. But very nice, consistent packaging. You can see Vmon, Wormmon, Armadillomon, and then we've got some screenshots. Oh, Hawkmon's hiding out there. They're going completely digital. Kari and TK kick it up with the newest Digidestins, Davis, Yoli, and Cody in the next Digimon adventure. Nice shout out to the song Going Digital. And then Let's Kick It Up, because those are 2 songs that were used for the English version in this set. It is English. It does have closed captionings for your English. It is Region A coded, and you do get some bonus features of production galleries, which we, of course, take a look at. On the inside cover, you get a nice group shot. This is kind of your standard key art. I think the New Video Group poster for their DVD set had this art. But, of course, you got Davis, Vmon, Kari, Gatsumon, TK, Patamon, Yoli, Hawkmon, Cody, Armadillomon, and Ken, Wormmon. I'm not going to say the Japanese names. This is the English set. All right, popping this open. Disc 1, of course, has Davis and Vmon with Vmon's Eye, with the first 12 episodes. Second disc has the Digi-Emperor and Wormmon with Wormmon's... no, that's not Wormmon's Eye. Whose eye is that? I just realized that's not Wormmon's eye. It's somebody else's. Now I can't place that eye at the moment. Here we have Hawkmon and Yoli with Hawkmon's Eye for episodes 26 to 38, and then Cody and Armadillomon with Armadillomon's Eye. So like the first season where you got 4 kids on the English set, 4 kids on the Japanese, my guess for the other set, of course, will be like TK, Kari, we're good at Ken, not just a Digimon Emperor, but a Ken, and then maybe the 8th disc will have just like a collage of the 6 previous Digidestins from Season 1, something like that. But very nice presentation, but let's take a look at the discs, and let's talk about some of the material that's on here that did not appear on previous home video releases. Digimon Season 2, Disc 1, we got, of course, Davis and Vmon. Play all. Your episode list, of course, is listed here. What's really cool is you get the Crest of Courage because it relates to kind of Vmon's Flamedramon form here. And then, of course, your captions are on or off. And of note, this is very important, Interflame Dramon, when it aired on TV, it featured this little recap by TK where he talked about where the Digidestin were, and that was left off of the DVD releases and was almost lost, but the visual still existed from the Japanese version. And the English dub, they did have enough high-quality audio because Mark is amazing at archiving stuff, and being a producer on this release means he brought all of his knowledge to it. So it is fully restored, as it should be. Now, it has been said a ton of work went into Season 2. They couldn't up-res the masters for the English dub like they did for Season 1, and they found it was easier to just reconstruct the show from the Japanese version. And that being said, all the visual edits, like the English text, would have to be recreated, and it's so spot on, you can't even tell that it's a recreation. But the overall visual and audio quality is just phenomenal. This show has never looked better. Here's a look at Disc 2 with the Digimon Emperor and Wormmon, episodes 13 through 25, and you do have the Crest of Kindness there, which relates to some characters, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, we have the captions on and off. Disc 3, Yoli, Hawkmon, episodes 26 through 38, of course, the Crest of Love to guide you through it. Disc 4, Cody, Armadillomon, the rest of the episodes 39 through 50, Crest of Knowledge to guide your way all the way through it. Of course, captions, but then here are your extras, and the extras include three galleries. You got Digidestin and Partner Digimon, which of course would be a gallery of Digidestin and Partner Digimon. So you've got design sheets, character sketches, just different little things. You can look at like the character model, as you see there, which is kind of like a Art of Davis we see a lot. The second gallery, of course, is enemies and allies. Is going to be your other characters, Digimon Emperor and such. And the items gallery, which contains items like looking at the actual like Digivices. And it's nice to see this because we're going to talk about soon on the channel the Super Complete Selection Animation D3, which some people said look weird, but that's how they look in the animation. So of course we need to put our Digimon Season 2 with our Digimon Season 1. So these are both the English version, as you can see, Tai Nagumon, Davis Vmon, and then the inside it is the collage of key art for the entire main cast and their Digimon, which is fantastic. I love the consistency, and I hope it keeps up with future releases. Also, of course, the spine consistency. Look at that beauty. This is going to be really nice when they get us all the seasons. But you can see we got shot of the main kid, Digimon Digital Monsters, Season 1, Episodes 1 to 54, English Language Version, Season 2, Episodes 1 to 50, English Language Version. You can see the difference in Digivices. You got Digivice and D3, which is really, really nice. And then, of course, if you're going to be someone who is putting them on your shelf in like production order or something, there is the Japanese Digimon Adventure, which you can see does have a different picture if you didn't catch that in my video, where I did go over the entire history of Digimon home video in North America from the DVD era onwards. So if you want to go check that out, if you haven't, go check it out. Now, of course, Discotek is going to continue releasing seasons, so I imagine we will see, you know, pretty similar to this spine. We'll see one for Digimon Adventure 02, the Japanese version. But I wonder how, I'm not sure how I'm going to display these. I don't know if I'm going to go like, you know, okay, we're going to do Japanese, English, or if we're going to do like all the Japanese and all the English, so then you have like alternating colors. Not 100% certain on how I'm putting them on my shelf, but there are Discotek's 3 Digimon releases so far. I believe the next thing up is going to be the movie collection with the first 3 movies and the Digimon the movie cut of that. And then after that, we should be getting the Japanese version of 02 and hopefully a future series, because these releases are continuing to be amazing. And our last Blu-ray we're looking at today, Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning on Blu-ray and DVD from Shout. This is the newest Digimon movie, and this came out, I think the street date is like 2 weeks after the Japanese Blu-ray. Kind of like how the US theatrical was 2 weeks after the Japanese theatrical, which is pretty amazing. They really wanted this movie out there, which I think is great. So you can see we have the poster art here. Sylphimon is getting covered by the sticker, but Sylphimon is there. Sylphimon is present. There is a limited edition trading card inside. You can see the main cast. I really like this movie, personally speaking. I thought it was really nice. That was a good character piece in a lot of ways. The spine here, we got Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning, Shout Studios, and a shot of Daisuke Davis and Vmon being all happy, being together. On the back, you got a nice shot of the kids looking around a computer. And then down here, some stats. A Region A, because it's a Toei thing. Of course, it's going to be restricted to Region A. The Blu-ray is going to be 1080p with English and Japanese. So you do get the English dub and the Japanese 5.1 surround, and then the DVD is also going to contain that same material. It does include one special feature, which is the Tomohisa Taguchi introduction, which was in the theatrical Fathom event release of the film, which is super nice. This movie is a direct sequel, or sort of an indirect sequel to Digimon 02, and more of a direct signal to Last Evolution Kizuna, which is kind of a direct signal to Digimon 02, but this is more about the Digimon 02 kids. It's just the next Digimon movie after a series of stuff. Before we look at the card here, we've got Blu-ray and DVD, same art for both. It actually is like the teaser poster art, I think. They do have the orientation this way, but then the disc stuff is this way, so you can go with whichever you want. And then we get a nice shot of the main 6 plus Louie and Ukomon are the new characters for the movie. And I think it's really nice to have them kind of in the floating sky background, kind of like how they had a lot of the poster art for Digimon Adventure Tri, which completely ignored the 02 kids. So it's nice to see them get their sky moment. The other cool part, of course, you get a trading card. This is promoting Digimon Liberator, so it's not the same promo packs that they gave out at the theater for the movie. There's 6 types in total. You can get 1 card. I believe these Digimon Liberator packs are also available elsewhere. I think they're top loaders or something. But I got a Galemon card. So there's Galemon. He's one of the new Digimon for Liberator. Liberator is this really cool manga that's based on the Digimon card game, and I've been enjoying it. It's like it's pretty easy to read too, because it's not just on the Digimon website like Digimon Seekers was. It's also on things like Webtoon, so it's pretty easy to find. But yeah, pretty nice little bonus card just for the heck of it. Speaking of bonuses, I ordered mine from shoutfactory.com, which, even though they switched the name to Shout Studios, is still Shout Factory's website. And it's a poster of the cover art, which is just the main poster, sent in this nice tube. I didn't have any shipping troubles this time. Sometimes with past Shout orders, I've had issues of things getting damaged, but things were pretty good there. It's a pretty large poster. I think it's like an 11 by 17, but there it is. The poster for the movie, pretty clean too. It's just the logo. It's not any other text, which is pretty nice. But let's take a look at the disc itself and the menus and how it's laid out. Okay, so the menu for Zero to the Beginning is pretty simple. You just have the poster art and some options, and it plays the ending song from the movie. Of course, you have play, chapters, lets you go to the different chapters of the movie. If you want to jump straight into the cool-looking evolutions, a lot of those are chapter markers. Go to setup, you got, of course, English 5.1, Japanese 5.1. English for the deaf and hard of hearing will be closed captioning for the dub, and English original Japanese language version will be the subtitles for the sub, which is great to see because that is what you want to see in a release, having both, not just one or the other. And then, of course, the bonus feature, which is introduction from the director, which was shown at the screening. And good news, in the Japanese subtitles, we have Japanese names. So Tailmon, of course, is Tailmon instead of Gatomon, like some other official subs have done. And of course, we got Jogress Evolution as opposed to DNA Digivolution. The dub will use the dub terms, the Japanese will use the Japanese terms. And that's a nice distinction to see in an official release. And just for proof of what I'm talking about, when you have English for the deaf and hearing impaired, it will be closed captionings for the dub. So Let's DNA Digivolve, Gatomon, it has all the terms. It's not just using one sub for both. Good job. Now, all that said, and this is not a fault of Shout, it's just how the movie is done, it still says Tailmon because it is going to use the visual of the Japanese version. There's not a second version that changes the text, nor was there in theaters, but it'll still say Gatomon, and it still will have that for your English dub. So, again, good stuff. So, of course, when we're talking about shelf stuff, you want to put it with Last Evolution Kizuna, since they are directed by the same person, and they are very much sequels to each other. These are both sequels to Digimon Adventure and Digimon Adventure 02. Last Evolution Kizuna and Zero to the Beginning kind of ignore Try, if you wanted to skip over Try. But these are the 2 most recent movies. They look pretty good. They're completely different style designs. I mean, it's no longer Shout Factory. They changed to Shout Studios. Now, Shout also released Digimon Adventure Try, so let's put all the Shout Digimon releases together. There you go. Pretty nice. I still kind of want to get the Digimon Try complete set just to reduce the size of this, but I haven't done that because I don't like Try that much. But there is all of their releases together, and then just because we are like that here at this channel, here is the Discotek releases. So here is all of the North American Digimon Blu-rays that are released between Discotek for these 3 and Shout for the rest. And I just hope this collection grows because I love Digimon and I love having it on the best possible format and looking fantastic across the board, honestly. So that does it for this video. It's just I had something to say about each of these that took a few more minutes to talk about than I would think would be properly covered in a Blu-ray haul. Because that's normally when I talk about a lot of releases, but I'll do special videos for things like Digimon. And I was like, all right, Polymar's a Toku, need to cover that. Digimon is Digimon, and IGPX is so fantastic, and the story behind Albegas is great. So I thought, let's do this video. Let's give them all a little bit more spotlight, and I thought it worked out pretty good. So if you like this, leave a comment down below. Tell me if you want to see more in this format. I may just do like, here's this month's Discotek releases, and I just talk about like the 3 or 4 I got or something. Let me know. Also, be sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps grow the channel. We just crossed 22,000 subscribers, so thank you everybody for that. If you want to join our live streams, they're on this YouTube channel every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. There's a Discord server in the link below. You can come join us, hang out, talk about Blu-rays and stuff. And if you want to help support the channel directly, consider joining as a channel member. There are perks like early access to videos and special shoutouts. Let's give a special shout out to some of our channel members. Special shout out to our channel members, including our Captain Tiers, Spin-54, Super Shaddix Boom, Toma K, Jamie's World, SSJ4 Jason, Psycho O's, Master Ben 95, Ramon Gray, Muhammad Faiz Daniel, Stargo's the Kaiju from Krypton, Princeton Phalanx 59, It's La Dorman, Matthias Lara, K Breezy, Sentai Ranger Donnie, Ray Venkman, Common Jojo, Scotty N70, Oma Ender, Marvel Fan, Dr. Grid, Brendan Overland, AMG Marco 27, Jeremy Carr, and Smith the Crow. Also special shout out to our new Commander tier, MJ Klein. Thank you all for your support. You can also find me across social media if you wish at Soundout12. You can find my awesome graphic designer on social media and Discord at DarkClaw643. You can find Hero Club at hero-club.com for tokusatsu news, reviews, interviews, and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.